Welcome to ABC31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Rapides and 3 other nearby parishes are under a state of emergency declaration issued late yesterday afternoon. That is our big story on this Tuesday night. The emergency declaration also includes Avoyelles, Grant, and Natchitoches. This triggers assistance to local areas like sandbags, river and weather reports, as well as conference calls. The rising water is caused by the flooding of the Red River Valley area, and it could get worse with more rain chances heading into tomorrow. Meteorologist Ross Whitley is here with a first look.
Yeah, many locations picking up anywhere between 5 and 9 inches of rain over the weekend, only adding to that river flooding. And of course, we've got several locations with an inch plus in the forecast over the next couple of days. For us here, we're looking at 75 degrees today, so warmer than yesterday, only getting up into the 60s, 53 degrees for our low last night. And we're not going to be dropping that low tonight thanks to the cloud cover, only picking up 1/100th of an inch so far, but that'll be changing. We even have the potential for severe weather. We'll be talking about all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Ross. The Alexandria Police Department held its second Coffee with a Cop event this morning. Officers from the department gathered at Crave in downtown Alexandria to chat with citizens over a cup of coffee, their treat. The event aims at letting area citizens interact with officers in a positive setting. The department plans to continue this event and encourages more people to come out and have coffee with a cop. Harmony Garden Estates hosted a groundbreaking ceremony earlier today. The Housing Authority of Alexandria and BGC Advantage working to rehabilitate Harmony Garden. The project will bring improvements to more than 170 public housing units, including upgrades to energy efficiency and all major systems. A new bill in the state house could change how Louisiana goes about issuing food stamps. WBRZ's Mark Armstrong has that story from Baton Rouge.
The shelves were full at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank Monday, where CEO Mike Manning told us about the people they serve.
Tremendously diverse, clientele. There are people who are working poor. There are people who are single moms raising multiple children.
He says people go hungry for a number of reasons, but it's often because they can't get a decent paying job.
When you look at the client base that we have, it's a situation where a lot of people aren't educated. They aren't sufficiently educated to really get that good job, to advance.
When it comes to food stamps, federal law says people without disabilities or dependents are not supposed to get the benefits long term. However, because Louisiana has higher than average unemployment, we're allowed to get a special exemption if we ask for it, which we do. But a new bill in the state house would require the legislature to also sign off on the exemption, which they could choose not to do.
You would think requiring food stamp recipients to work for their benefits to be a popular issue here in conservative Louisiana. However, despite our 3 attempts to interview the bill's author, Representative Jay Morris, the Republican from West Monroe never once stepped outside to answer our questions. In fact, most of the 2 hours that we spent waiting on him to speak to him today, he was on his phone in the House of Representatives before he eventually meandered around the hall and exited out the back door.
We did interview Baton Rouge Democrat Pat Smith, who says there are many reasons why able-bodied adults on food stamps don't have jobs.
One of the things that we know is that we're trying to reduce our prison population. Many of those individuals, male or female, getting out of prison really have difficulty finding a job. Most have difficulty finding a place to stay, and then if you take the food stamps away, they have no way to eat.
Even without the special exemption, able-bodied adults can still often keep their food stamps if they show they're looking for work or if they volunteer at a qualified charity.
Of the specific people you reference, which are people who don't have dependent children and that sort of thing, and that are capable of working, it's really not unreasonable, and it's what all of us would expect of ourselves.
The bill could be debated during the regular session next month.
A recently retired Foreign Service officer spoke at the Rotary Club today. Lawrence Mandel served for 32 years with the U.S. State Department. He told club members about some of his experiences during those years.
I'm going to speak today about life in the Foreign Service. It's the world's best career because we get to live in fascinating places, work with interesting people, and do work that is sometimes important and often fulfilling. My favorite part is engaging with people in local countries and trying to explain to them how the U.S. feels about issues and listening to them so that I could help my colleagues in Washington understand what people in these foreign countries are thinking.
Before joining the U.S. State Department, Mandel was an attorney in Massachusetts. He and his family traveled and lived in a number of different countries around the world during his career. Are you interested in adding a furry friend to the family? Henry Wimbley of the Alexandria Animal Shelter stopped by to tell us about adopting a new dog or cat.
Process is very, very simple. We try to keep it as simple as possible. However, there's paperwork that has to be done, which is a promise that they'll take care of the dog for the remainder of his life, and they have to take it to get it spayed or neutered. And a dog like this is $90, and a female would trying to get to you. A female would be $95. That includes the shots and to have them spayed or neutered.
The Alexandria Animal Shelter is at 200 Animal Shelter Road. NSU has named 6 alumni to the Long Purple Line. They are Monty Chicola of Alexandria, Dr. Philip Cole of Shreveport, Linda Day of Baton Rouge, Justice James Genovese of Opelousas, the late Colonel Randall Keeter Sr., formerly of Shreveport, and Darrell Willis of Houston. They will be honored next month. And 2 people, including the first ever woman, will be inducted into the State Agriculture Hall of Distinction next month. They are 96-year-old Margie Jenkins of Amite and Pierre Pete Leno of St. John the Baptist Parish. That list is maintained by the Louisiana Radio Network. Livestock shows are a part of 4-H's colorful history. More than 2,000 Louisiana youth participated in this year's LSU Ag Center Livestock Show, displaying championship quality animals and learning some important life lessons. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux was there.
Washing and grooming animals were common sights during the 83rd annual LSU Ag Center Livestock Show. After the animals were prepped, it was their time to shine in the ring, where both the animals and students were judged by watchful officials. And the secret to winning?
You got to have confidence. You got to go in thinking you're going to win, knowing you're going to win, and you got to know what you're doing, or at least act like you know what you're doing.
Peyton Satig was working with her pig, Rusty. She has been showing pigs for the last 5 years, and her experiences have taught her some important lessons.
I've learned responsibilities because every morning you got to go out and feed your hog, wash your hog every day, and walk your hog. I've learned what it does to take care of an animal and all the hard work.
And what has she learned about Rusty?
She behaves pretty good. She's a loud pig. She eats a lot, and she likes to run.
Christine Natali has 3 sons showing cattle, including this year's Grand Champion Heifer and Grand Champion Bull. She sees the benefits of getting involved with show animals.
I think it makes my job as a parent easier. They learn a lot of lessons from the animals, from being in the show ring. They learn how to win, they learn how to lose, and really the program teaches the kids lessons.
For some, showing livestock is a family tradition extending several generations. And while the showing may only last a few minutes, there are many hours of hard work invested in each animal. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
The LSU Ag Center Livestock Show is an 8-day event held in February at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center every year.
Only one doctor brings health right to your home.
Every day is a new chance for change, and everyone can start right now.
Make an appointment with Dr. Oz. Check in for your daily checkup.
Warm and overcast tonight, only getting down to 67 when our daytime high yesterday was only 63. So tonight, relatively warm, and we could be running at a record for our daytime highs. Tomorrow, the winds out of the south-southeast at 7 miles per hour. Majority of the rain well off to our north. Of course, looking at the radar from earlier, warm front continuing to lift and will do so off to the north and east. And most of the state staying dry tonight. We'll watch tomorrow for a cold front to develop out in the middle of Texas, moving in, and that could set the stage for severe weather. Already mentioned that cloudy with showers in places tomorrow, even a heavier thunderstorm or 2 in a lot of locations. Very warm. The forecast 84, the record 88. So very close to that record tomorrow. If we get enough sunshine tomorrow, I could see us making a run at that. If we have the cloud cover throughout the majority of the day, which is what I expect, I don't think we're going to quite get to 88. It was set back in 1932. Very warm and very humid tomorrow with that south wind, allowing for that moisture to be transported off to the north. The area of lift will be off to the north as well. So really what we're concerned most about here is going to be that river flooding issue as all of this moisture drains down into those rivers that are already running very, very high. On top of that, with that cold front swinging through, and I say cold front because we're not going to have a big change in air masses here, we're also going to be watching for severe weather. Hail, wind gusts, flash flooding, all possible with any of thunderstorms that really get going. In this darker green area, that's a marginal risk. That's a 12% risk for severe weather, meaning that a thunderstorm will likely be severe. As you go into the yellow, that's a 15% risk, so the much higher chance of seeing severe weather in Shreveport and Monroe tomorrow. And of course, river flooding being the biggest issue, but any storm that is marked severe, wind gusts, flash flooding, and hail can also occur with any of those storms tomorrow. Looking at the expected rainfall out of this system, north of Shreveport, 3+ inches. That's funneling all the way down into our rivers, so you expect those rivers to continue to rise over the next several days. In fact, we have flood warnings for those rivers indefinitely until those rivers start to recede. 83 for the day tomorrow, cloudy with a storm out there and a lot of locations. The heaviest rain falling well off to our north and west, but don't rule out a chance at a severe storm or two in our extended forecast. Hold on to a shower for our Thursday. Cooler conditions, only 66 degrees. We hold on to that through the weekend where the next storm system moves in next Monday. That's a look at your 7-day and your weather. Scott?
All right, thank you, Ross. Kids are sexting, that is, sharing sexually explicit images, videos, or messages electronically, but just how much? With more, here's Tara Palmieri.
Exactly how many kids under 18 are sexting? About 30% of them are receiving sex and 15% of them are sending them. This according to a new study in the Journal of American Medical Association. Researchers looked at the information from 39 different studies to get this information. If you're already shocked, here's the part that may disturb parents most. Approximately 1 in 8 kids report either forwarding or having a sex forward without consent. The authors didn't look into the reasons why kids sext, though sheer adolescence may explain some of it. But it has been shown to predict sexual activity and may be associated with health outcomes and risky behavior.
The epidemic of childhood obesity continues to get worse. A study in the journal Pediatrics finds rates of overweight children are increasing in all age groups. Researchers say more than 41% of teenagers between the ages of 16 and 19 are now obese.
Stay connected with KLAX ABC31. Visit us online anytime. Get today's top stories and trending topics. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. See our pics on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. And make KLAXTV.com your home for local news and information. Plus, download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.